Hello everyone and welcome to a new session here. I'm here with Karl Gilis, and I'm happy because I'm with Karl because he's called the conversion comedian. I will give you a bit of intro, Karl, before you get in.
Okay.
So Karl is the managing partner of AG Consult since 2001. He grows businesses by increasing customer happiness since 2001. Always based on user research, facts, and A/B testing, because opinions are just opinions. So Karl is helping companies such as Carglass, Nespresso, BMW to become truly customer-centric. So Karl, welcome to the show. And before starting, we have a special request from Tim Stewart. If you can do, so if you can do the evil Andre Maurice face, that's
evil Andre Maurice face. What is the evil Andre Maurice face?
I don't know. That was that.
What is the evil
Dr. Evil Andre Maurice?
I have no idea. Damn. Always some difficult questions.
Perfect. So,
hello, people.
So, Karl, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you. Oh my God, that's a lot of people. It seems that most of you are in lockdown too. So I'm Karl from AG Consult, and Valentin just said all these things about me, so you already know them. So here goes my introduction. And yes, some of you might know me. Normally I do speak a lot at conferences in real life, but yes, most of them are cancelled, of course. I hope to be back in a few months in a country near you. 1 hour ago, you had Nir Eyal doing his talk. I think Jerry McGovern is on later today or tomorrow. These are all my heroes, and sometimes my name ends up in lists among these people that I really consider as my heroes at a completely other level. But it's kind of cool that I'm in those lists. Now, my talk until yesterday was titled How to Double Your Revenue with One Simple Thing. But in my opinion, it sounded a little bit strange to a talk with the same topic as if nothing had happened in the world. Because, yes, we do all live in a world that's different than a few weeks, a few months, or a few days ago. So I have adapted my talk, How to Keep Your Customers Happy in These Challenging Times. I just finished my slides about 40 minutes ago. I did one quick rehearsal. I hope that I will be able to deliver it in those 30 minutes. This is what we will talking about. What is the different situation and how does it impact your customers? Why you should act now? Some stories about what we've seen on clients' websites the previous days. And then what I think is the solution, stick to the process, and a few methods you can use to adapt your message, to adapt your website right now. Yes. It's not really necessary to tell you this, that everything has changed, that we all live in a different world. And this has really a big impact on our emotional state of every single human being. There is a lot of fear. Some has to do direct with the coronavirus. Will I get it? Will I get sick? Will my family be safe? What with my friends and so on? How will I survive this lockdown period? Most of you will be probably also locked down in your homes like we are almost here in Belgium. It's also the fear of losing my job. Maybe some of you have already lost your job. Those who are running business, how will my company survive this? So this really has a huge impact on every single human being. And that means that our behavior and the way we think has changed. It's still changing. We all know this. We all seen these photos, and these guys, they have more toilet paper than they will ever shit in their life. I'm sorry for the joke. And there are many crazy things going on. But we as human beings, a lot of our behavior is irrational. And I have the impression that even more of it is of the irrationality has even risen. So yes, your consumers, your customers, people visiting your website, your clients, they all have changed. Their mindset has changed. The world we live in has changed. in most countries, well, especially here in Europe, shops are closed, only essential businesses are allowed, bars are closed. So that means that more and more people are going online. We force, and it's not a new generation, but we force a new group to go online, to try to buy things online. So my assumption, and we've seen it on some websites already, is that there's a new group. There are a lot of newbies going online, people that maybe used Google, they read newspapers or whatever, they use Facebook, but now they will go online to websites to try to buy stuff. And that is a new audience. And maybe your website was usable, user-friendly until now for your average customer, but maybe now your average customer is less acquainted with these technologies, with the internet. So that is why you should act now, not next week, but now. It's a world that's changing faster than ever before. You have to adapt. In essence, my message is the same. You have to put your customer at the heart, at the center of everything. But now this is even more important than before. You have to help your customers, the people visiting your website through this difficult time. What I think is really ugly, I've seen some websites that are now really playing with things like scarcity. They're playing with the fear that's in the mindsets of people. I think those are really ugly, not ethically correct ways to do business right now. I think it's your moral duty to help your customers, because and this has always been the case. A happy customer means a repeat customer, means an ambassador. They will talk about you on social, and I think more people will talk about social, about good and bad experience now than ever before, because everybody is sitting at home. Everybody is Facebooking, Instagramming, TikToking, whatever. So it's even more important than ever that you sell the way people want to buy your stuff now, and not the way you want to sell your stuff. You can't sell, for most businesses, you can't sell now the same way that you sold 2 weeks ago. And probably in 2 weeks' time, you have to adapt your message again, because the world is changing every single minute. You have to adapt to this new situation quicker than ever before. Now, let's go one step back. Before this crisis, there was already a problem with lots and lots of companies. And the biggest problem that companies have is that they are losing the connection with their customers. That most customers, with most companies, they feel like, that company doesn't care about me. They feel themselves treated as a number. This is a study done long before the crisis by the Rockefeller Group. The main reason why customers stop being a customer, and also why they don't become a customer, is that they have the feeling that the company doesn't care about them. They're just interested in their money, their customership, but not their loyalty, not the customer as a human being. And that reason is more important than all these other reasons together combined. And we have to fix that. I hope you already fixed a little bit of that before the crisis, but now it is the time to fix it. Now is the time to do everything you can to ease the mindset of your customers and to try to conquer their hearts and their minds. Going to do a very quick overview of the UX pyramid of needs, but I only have, 22 minutes left. So it's a quick overview, but this is the classical UX pyramid of needs, or this is our take on it. There are several layers. All these layers are important. Does your website work? Does your communication work? Is it accessible? Can people find what they're looking for? Is it usable? Can people use your website without thinking? Can these newbies, these new people that are forced online, can they use your website? And do they understand your checkout? Are they not afraid of all those different messages? Are they not afraid of paying online? Is your payment system, does it look the same as your website? Do you use enough comforting messages? Does your message in general, your product descriptions, your service descriptions, do they convince people? Not only the content should not only be readable, but it should be convincing. It should trigger my heart and my mind. And if all these things are okay, then you can add some persuasion techniques, you can add some personalization. But what is missing in all these UX pyramid of needs, and if you look for it, you will find many, many, many variations on this version, is that basic layer, and that's the layer, does the company care about me? This one is a very important one, and in these days, it is the most important fundamental layer. If you don't have that one in the DNA of your company, you don't have to have a website, you don't have to do marketing, because then it will stop. So you really have to work on that. You have to see how you can make people's lives better, how you can take away their frustrations, how you can fulfill their needs and their dreams. This is your job. If you're in e-commerce, if you're doing business, this is the essence of every single one of you. This is the essence of your job. Make your customers happy. It's always been like that, and nowadays it's even more important than ever. From these women in ancient Rome to her modern day counterpart, they're all doing businesses. And this guy, Jeff Bezos from Amazon, he's doing the same thing on a slightly larger scale, but he's doing the same thing. And they all know to make your business successful, you have to start from the customer. If not, you have a problem. And then we have this new reality, the world we live in. And yes, customer behavior has changed. I have 3 examples of this. This is of a website selling kids' toys. They also have, I think, about 26 or 30 shops here in Belgium and the Netherlands. And then last week, or is it now already 10 days ago, when the government decided here in Belgium to close schools, and then later on to close non-essential shops. We saw that behavior, what people are doing on these websites, the products they ordered on the websites, the searches they do, the things they were looking for are now completely different than the 10 days before. That is completely different than the normal seasonality on these websites. So all the things you have learned in the past are kind of useless nowadays, because this situation has never occurred before. So yes, we are now adapting the website, the top tasks, the top products, the games that people are now buying to keep their kids quiet for a few hours while mom and dad have to work from home, because teleworking is also obliged, or almost obliged here in Belgium, has changed. But what we also noticed is that some of the USPs, and these ones are in Dutch, that some of the USPs didn't hold anymore. The delivery time, I think it used to be 1 day, but due to Corona, there are extra checks. It's a bit slower, so they adapted the message to reality. Like, our delivery time, due to Corona, is now 2 working days, 2 business days. There's also an update that the Belgian shops are closed, because the ones in the Netherlands are still allowed to be open, but the web shop is still open. So based on that, we adapted the message. We're still working on it to make it better, but you see different behavior, and this behavior will change, because I'm sure that in a few days, the government will announce that this lockdown period here in Belgium will extend for 2 more weeks or another month. And spring has begun. So people will buy new things to keep their kids busy, maybe in the garden. So you should really adapt to the situation. The same thing for everything that has to do with do-it-yourself. It's something we see. People now are like, well, I'm sitting home for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to do that little job that I already should have done 2 months or 2 years ago. And now I have time to it. So people are ordering from do-it-yourself stores. They're ordering, like most of them, not these big things that you see in this photo, but smaller elements. But I'm sure that, once again, when the lockdown period is extended, that people will start thinking like, oh, maybe it's time to build that new wall, to build that new floor, to build something. So the works will get bigger and bigger. So these are the things that you have to adapt to, that you have to see. Human behavior, just the shopping behavior, is different. And it's not only with shopping. This is maybe a strange example, but it's from a government website. This is a government website here in Belgium. It has to do with sexual education. Every question you can have about sex. It's all for everyone. It's for younger people, normal people, or people my age, older people, and so on. I'm not going to tell you what kind of things people looked for at this website before the Corona crisis, but there's one thing that we have seen from the moment the kids couldn't go to school anymore. There's one search term, there's one page that has become popular and popular and popular, and that is everything that has to do with anti-conception. Because maybe the first few days people were like, yeah, party, and then they see the kids at home all the time, and they're now like, oh, this is enough. And this is a funny story, because it shows that all websites, all businesses are impacted with what's going on, and that human behavior indeed has changed. Now, as a business owner, as someone who is doing business, as an e-commerce website, please do not panic. Relax. Stick to the process. In conversion optimization, we have a process. The process works. In user research, we have a process. The process works. Don't start changing your website like, oh yeah, I want to change something. I have no idea what, but I have to change my message, blah, blah, blah. No, just relax. Only improve what needs to improve. Only change what needs to be changed. Only adapt the messages that you see that are not working anymore. Adapt your website on what you see in reality. And the process, in short, is that you always have to start, and I will show you, and I will talk about the methods in 2 minutes' time, is where do we have problems? Where do we see that behavior on our website has changed? Where do we see that people are struggling, that are doing different things? And if you see where, maybe your common sense will kick in, and you will say, that's probably the reason, and you can already change the message. In some cases, you will think like, what are they doing? And then you have to discover the why. I will show you some methods how to do that. But once you know where you have a problem and why it's a problem, or why behavior has changed, then your experience, your common sense will help to find a solution. Then you will know, okay, I have to change this, and this will probably be a better message. And then, of course, in the ideal world, we could still do A/B testing, but I don't think that a lot of websites are able to do A/B testing. You will not learn a lot about it, because the situation is changing so fast. Also, I think you just have to fix things, change things, measure it, and go through the cycle again, because that's what it's about. It's a cycle. Do it again and again. Situation is changing every few days. Now, I'm going to have a little drink. It's Coke, it's okay. Which methods can you use right now? What can you do right now to learn about what has changed with your customers, your visitors, and how can you adapt your website and maybe your marketing in general? How can you conquer the hearts and the minds of your visitors? 1, always important. Look at your Google Analytics. This is an immediately view on the behavior of your visitors. What has changed? What traffic sources still bring valuable traffic and which don't? Which ads are working? What ads are a completely waste of money? Do you see changes in your SEO traffic, different search terms, some of them that you can adapt to? What kind of social messaging is working? What kind of social messaging is not working? Do you see, like in that example of the toy store, new top tasks arising, people looking for new or other products than they normally do in this time of the year? And this is something you can look at every single day. It's very easy. Well, I hope it's easy if your Google Analytics setup is done okay. And you can adapt. You can push those products to the homepage of your website. You can create new categories based on what you learn. But of course, there maybe will be also changes in behavior on other places of your website. During checkout, do you see more drop-offs in a certain step? Why? Oh, maybe that's because of that new group of people, the ones that are forced to go online for the first time in their life, the ones that are not so experienced with online. Maybe the moment they have to put in their credit card details, they are a bit afraid. So maybe you see a problem, then you have to understand why, and you can adapt your message. Maybe, and I guess the answer will be yes. You see that people are more picky on buying some products, that they do look at more product pages in average than they used to do 1 week before. Probably because of the economical impact, people are looking for cheaper products. So these are the things you have to look at. And then if you notice that difference in behavior, you can adapt your message. Of course, also look at your internal search feature. What are people looking for? Once again, this will tell you a lot about the products and services they're looking for, but also if you have an e-commerce website, on the concerns people have. Do you still deliver? What is the delivery time? Is it safe with you to order online? What measurements have you took to make sure that your workers and also the packages you send are virus-free, and so on? So these are possible concerns of your audience. If you know the questions, if you know the hurdles of your people, the obstacles, then you can adapt once again your USPs, your general message, and so on. Of course, you still have to look at your click heat maps. Click heat maps also instant feedback on what you see on your website. I assume most of you have them. If not, go to hotjar.com, get the trial version, the first 30-day version. Of course, scroll heat maps will still be interesting, but I think click heat maps, they really give you an instant feedback. Even if you're not so familiar with Google Analytics, then the heat maps are a very good second tool or add-on tool, and maybe because it gives you a visual overview on what people are doing, like this, and this is pre-corona times, but this is a web shop, as you can see. Well, in my opinion, screenshot was taken about 1 year ago, but you can see the terrace and garden, that a lot of people start clicking on it. This is the moment to put terrace and garden on the first place, because apparently people are looking for that. The higher something is on your page, more people will see it. This is really a clear example of adapt your website, adapt your message to the customer. Same here. This is a category page of, what is it? Vacuum cleaners in English. Apparently the third category, which is like the, how do you say it? Stick vacuum cleaner? Yeah, the one with a stick vacuum cleaner is the most popular category, as you can see here. So you put that one on the first place. It will especially help people on mobile, because here it's the third one. It's the most popular. If you put that first, more people will see it, and more people are looking for it. Just give people what they want, and then they will give you what you want, and that is they becoming your customer. These are things that you should always do, but now it's even more important. Maybe their behavior on your website, like I said, and this is like an example where we have on the left-hand side a filter navigation. The filters that people are using might be different. Maybe people now order it from cheap to more expensive more often, or they limit down this little price bar more often than they used to do. So maybe you should put that higher on the page because it's a more popular feature than it used to be 2 weeks ago. So for me, the big advantage of these click heat maps is that they give you a visual overview on what is happening right now, or yesterday, or 2 days ago. It means how long does it take for you to have enough visitors, but it gives you instant feedback on what people are doing. And you should really understand that online, the customer is not only king, the customer is the dictator. The customer dictates what should be on your homepage, what should be on your product page, what should be on your filters, what the order of your filters should be. By the way, I stole this one from Jerry McGovern about 18 years ago. So please listen to Jerry McGovern later today or tomorrow. He's one of my godfathers in this business, the people I really admire. I learned a lot from him. He's now has become a good friend. Third one, so the two previous methods is more about the where are the problems. The targeted surveys you can use more, you will use more to discover the why. What is a targeted survey? It's about asking 1 or 2 questions at the right time. And the right time can be an entry survey on your homepage, can be a little slide in on a product page or a category page or a certain group of pages, it can be at checkout, it can be an exit survey, it can be on your shopping cart when people are not doing anything for 10 seconds or 15 seconds, for example. We ask questions that are as factual as possible. We don't ask about opinions. How do you like our website? Ugh. Don't ask questions about the future, the too distant past. Ask questions that will learn you something about current behavior. One of the things that can really be interesting when you don't have Google Analytics, or as an add-on or in addition to what you learned from Google Analytics, is the top task survey. This is a survey that you show when people enter your website with a simple question. Hey, what are you looking for? What product, what solution, what information? What is the purpose of your visit to our website today? Maybe you can combine it with one other question. Did you buy with us before? Did you buy online before? You know, the new target audience that's coming online these days. Are you a client of us? Yes or no? It will learn you a little bit about the difference between those two different segments. On your product pages, during checkout, you can ask questions like, hey, did you find all the information you were looking for? Did this page give you all the information you needed? Are there any questions that are unanswered? What is your primary motivation that you're now looking for this product, for this solution? So that is, why are you looking for it? And then on the other hand, it's like, what is keeping you from buying this product right now? Why are you not buying it right now? What is your biggest concern to buy this product or service right now? So this is really important to understand the why, the mindset of your customers. And like I said many times before, this will probably be completely different than a few days or a few weeks ago. We also love to have questionnaires on thank you pages, similar questions. What is the most important reason you bought this product? Why did you buy it from us? Did you consider any alternatives? Or what was there something that almost made you hesitate? What is the one thing that nearly stopped you from buying from us? Once again, we want to know, why do people buy, and what are the fears, what are their concerns buying from us? And with those elements, you can really adapt your message. You can adapt your product copywriting, but also little messages during your checkout. For this service, there are existing tools like Hotjar. Once again, there are other survey tools. For websites with less traffic, I think the pop-up versions or the more bam-in-the-face solutions are best. This is something we wrote by ourselves, but you can do it, I think, with Survey Gizmo and Survey Monkey. This is an integration on thank you pages. But the most important thing is that you have to start asking questions and keep continuing asking those questions. One example, last year, 2 years ago already, we worked for Yoast, the most popular and best SEO plugin for WordPress. This is the page, or one of the pages we worked on. This is why you should upgrade from the free version to the premium version of Yoast. We did a lot of work to come to this page, and based on surveys, once again, we asked clients, why did you buy the premium version? So we wrote this page, and then we start asking, hey, what's holding you back from upgrading to the premium version? And one of the top answers of people was like, yeah, I am using this free version for a while now, but if I upgrade to the premium version, will I lose my work, or do I have to redo all the efforts I already did? So that was one of the hesitations, one of the hurdles that people had. So we just added one little sentence on this page. Hey, if you upgrade to Yoast Premium, we will do all the work for you, so you keep all your settings and all the work you've done. And this is an important message. It takes away the fear, and it resulted in an uplift of 9% more sales. And these are the little things, the little messages that you have to add to your website now, based on the real fears that people have, the new barriers they have to buy online. I have 3 more minutes. If you have a smaller website, don't do these surveys. It's only 1%, maybe 5% of people that will in your service, but talk to your clients, pick up your phone, ask the same questions. If you have an e-commerce website, if you haven't used it before, use form analysis. It's also included in Hotjar. It's all included in similar tools too. It will learn you a lot on the interactions that people have with your forms during checkout. I have more on all this in an online training on our website. If you use the code ACTION2020, you get a 20% discount. On top of that, we donate 20% of all our revenue to charity. And this is the last thing I want to say. In these times, as business owners, as people, be human, show leadership. Don't use those dirty persuasion techniques right now. This is not the time to prey on people's fears. This is the time to act as a nice human being. Be positive, help. Here in Belgium, we started an action called Action 2020. We as a company are donating 20% of our time and 20% of our revenue to Corona-related charities. And I urge you, if you're a healthy company, if you're in the e-business and you're probably selling more than you used to do, think what you can do to help to fight this crisis. How can you help other people? How can you help charities? How you can help business that are really going through really challenging and shitty times. Thank you for your attention. Always keep in mind, make your customers happy, but maybe now, in these days, just make people happy. I hope this session inspired you, that you can use some of the things that I told you. I hope everybody stays healthy, and that we get through this crisis together. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks as well, Karl, for being part of e-commerce growth summit. If you have questions for Karl, you can ask them on the Slack group, and we will let him know about them. I have also an announcement to make. We at OmniConvert, we've decided together with our board of investors to give away our technology to the amount of 5 million euro. For free for all the e-commerce companies with less than 100 employees. So you can check this out a bit later in our own session. So Karl, signing off now. And for you out there, see you in the next session with Brian Clifton.
All right, my pleasure. Bye-bye.
As an e-commerce manager, you want to stop spending money on expensive ads. OmniConvert Explore helps you improve conversion through A/B testing, personalization, and surveys. Understand that growth is also a matter of retention, not only acquisition. With OmniConvert Reveal, you'll understand segments, monitor customer experience, and nurture your customers on every channel.